Gusty wind, some rain, and rough seas. The monthly jobs report's out, 130,000 jobs created. The unemployment rate steady at 3.7%. Former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz now says he will not run for president. He'd been considering it.
Schultz, who told the Fox News Rundown podcast back in April,
the country and the American people deserve so much better.
Writing on his website, he's concluded that an independent campaign for the White House is not how I can best serve our country.
Fox's Lillian Wu in New York. America is listening to Fox News.
Our family caring for yours. Those 5 words speak volumes about what you can expect at Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center. Compare your hometown hospital to virtually any across the state, and you will find we offer world-class technologies and comprehensive healthcare solutions far exceeding your expectations. But equally important to what we can do is how we do it. The hometown touch, the personal care. Set us apart and leave you on the road to recovery and restoration with a new sense of trust and confidence. Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center.
At the University of Kentucky, there are no bounds to our campus, no limits to our ambitions. Now you can earn a degree from UK anywhere. Every day we're expanding our reach and impact for a world that moves faster and demands more. Over 30 degrees and certificates, 100% online, from Kentucky's flagship university. We're prepared to adapt, grow, build, challenge, and succeed together. Find your program at uky.edu/ukonline.
Another twist on an old scam. Don't fall for this new Publishers Clearinghouse scam. Better Business Bureau's president and CEO, Rihanna Smith Hamblin, has more.
Consumers are receiving phone calls saying they've won tons of money in a new car. All the consumer has to do is purchase a prize registration license. The scammer will end up with your bank or credit card information. Don't fall for it. For substantial winnings, the Real Publishers Clearinghouse will knock on your door. For more tips, go to bbb.org.
Good morning. This is Kurt Scott, minister at Caneyville Christian Church. Join us this week for Sunday School at 10, followed by worship services at 11 and 6. And now, a Minute of Vision with Dr. Roger Patterson.
Control your gap. This is Roger Patterson with a Minute of Vision for Life. Gap control is a large part of playing defensive line. A nose guard or defensive tackle can shut down an entire element of a team's running game with good gap control. Being a Houston Texans fan, one of my favorite players to watch is J.J. Watt. Watt has a tremendous ability in controlling the gaps on his side of the line and making tackles in the backfield. One of the greatest testimonies about Watt is his zeal and effort for every single play. This hasn't always been the case in Houston on the defensive line. Another first-round draft pick was accused by the media of taking plays off, and as a result, was not reliable. You know, when we take plays off, we are also seen as unreliable. Proverbs 25:26 states, like a muddied spring or a polluted fountain is a righteous man who goes away before the wicked. Don't give way. Stand your guard and control the gap day in and day out.
You've been listening to Dr. Roger Patterson with a Minute of Vision, a ministry of Vision for Life Radio.
Fox Sports Trending now.
In the opening game of the 100th NFL season, the Packers get by the Bears in Chicago 10-3. The only touchdown of the game came in the second quarter when Aaron Rodgers hit tight end Jimmy Graham with an 8-yard touchdown pass. Green Bay held Chicago without a touchdown, sacked quarterback Mitchell Trubisky 5 times, and picked him off the end zone with less than 2 minutes to play to preserve the win. Raiders wide receiver Antonio Brown will reportedly be suspended after an altercation with GM Mike Mayock. It happened after Brown posted a letter on social media that came from Mayock detailing a fine the team gave him for missing time during training camp. In baseball games of note, we had the Rays over the Blue Jays 6-4. A's beat the Angels 10-6, while the Indians lost to the White Sox 7-1. So Tampa Bay still has a half-game lead on Oakland for the number 1 wildcard spot in the American League. The A's now have a 1-game lead on Cleveland for the number 2 wildcard spot in the AL. I'm Eddie Garcia.
We are Fox Sports.
K105 Weather is brought to you by the 3 Grayson County locations of the Sicilian Bank.
Twin Lakes weather. We still have a few hours to enjoy the sunshine and comfortable air. However, later this afternoon to the evening, it's become more humid and a little more on the cloudier side. It's a cold front moving our way. It could give us an isolated shower or even a thunderstorm late this afternoon to early evening. Most areas will stay dry. Afternoon high 88, but back down into the 50s and 60s tonight. Good way for new storm tracking team. I'm meteorologist Brian Day.
This is In the Know for Friday, September 6th, the 249th day of 2019. There are 116 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station, 103.9 The Moose. On Facebook Watch. Live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app. Using the SoundCloud or iTunes podcast. We're on YouTube, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, the country, the Caribbean. We've got it all. Yeah, I'm back finally. Good to see you. And we got that and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. 2-time Silver Sound nominee. Covering every corner of the globe. London, Moscow, Washington, Paris, Shrewsbury. It's Sam Gormley. Morning, Sam.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
We'll get to that.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Well, I was going to ask you, are you happier to see me or am I happier to see you?
You know, I'm definitely happy to see you.
You are? Yeah. I'm happy to see you too. I wasn't sure I would again, but
I'm not sure we thought so either at some point since we got further and further along.
That's all right. That's well, we survived. We'll get to
we did.
We'll get to more of it in just a moment. It's Friday. Been waiting for a while on this. She is the pride of Pumpkin Center. The heiress to the great mini burger fortune, she's Vera Wang's arch nemesis and the professional bargain hunter's woman of the year, Misty Embry Thomas. Hey,
Holy Ghost, Big Bang Theory, Pentecostal, Fire and Brimstone, Mission Temple Fireworks Stand.
How's Misty?
Well, you're a sight for sore eyes.
I don't. When was the last time I went that long without laying eyes on you? There have been a couple of times.
Were 5 and 6.
There have been a couple.
5 and 10, I guess, would be the accurate.
It was right after a T-ball
equation.
game when I was 7. I think there have been some weeks where we were gone one week and you were gone the next, and so maybe it was kind of like that, but it wasn't quite so harrowing. So first of all, before I offer an explanation and atonement. It was not entirely my doing. Thank you to, first and foremost, the two of you for battening down your own hatches while we were battening down other hatches elsewhere. And then also special thanks to your rotating co-hosts that came through. Like, I noticed we were gone so long, Dennis Cook let his hair grow out.
Yes. And curled it. It was nice. Yes, we curled his hair. Yes, he did.
It's nice. I was like,
it grew over a segment. It was crazy.
It's like a chia pet, really.
He picked a stylist. Like, he got a stylist between the time we left and the time we got back. I saw that, but I saw Stephen Smith and the ladies and the sheriff and all that stuff come through. So hopefully it wasn't the end of the world. You're both still here, so that's good.
We're really like a fine roll of duct tape.
Yeah.
Not so pretty, but we held it together.
Okay. Well, I was worrying portions of the last week or so that I needed some Flex Seal tape to make sure my boat was going to be okay. I don't know where to. How.
We've not told anything.
You've not shared anything?
No.
Listen, it's not our story to tell.
Well, I didn't know. I thought surely by day 7 you might have to offer some type of explanation.
Day 7, still on the boat.
Okay, so yeah, first of all, we were fresh off the boat. So first of all, Miss Buckles will be back on Monday. Okay, we've had a fire drill of a schedule getting things recoordinated. So let me take you back to
when
August
were peaceful.
August of 1979. Okay, maybe that's a good place to start. August 26th of 1979, one Christy J. Buckles was born. Flash forward 40 years, and as we're approaching her 40th birthday, her husband thinks, great idea. Let's schedule a cruise for her 40th birthday. What her dunderhead husband doesn't consider, well, that's right in the middle of hurricane season. So
You can't help when she's bored.
No, I didn't. I didn't have anything to do with it. I mean, I'm happy it happened, but I didn't have anything to do with it. So we had this. I had this surprise trip scheduled. It wasn't completely a surprise. She's known for about a month, but since early part of the year, I think since late January, the decision had been made that that's when that we would be away that week.
Mm-hmm.
So as we departed and got everything ready, it was going to be, we would be back after the long Labor Day weekend. Well, when we depart on Sunday, the 25th, we're already eyeing what was then hurricane. It was then still tropical depression Dorian, but in the very far south, and thinking, oh, well, that could be something to keep an eye on. It'll probably, who knows what it will do. Well, we were initially headed into the Eastern Caribbean, but before we even departed Port Canaveral, the captain decided, and Royal Caribbean International Cruise Line decided, we would go to the Western Caribbean to get away from the storm while it went through. So no problem. We were going to be gone 7 days anyway, so we'll just go to that side. We did stop off at their private island at Coco Cay for a day and then headed on toward Cozumel and then Roatan, Honduras, and then Costa Maya. Well, come Friday, as we're about to turn for home, Captain Johnny, doesn't that sound like a captain's name?
That sounds perfect good. Name.
Captain Johnny says, well, we're not going to go home just yet because Hurricane Dorian has, well, served as a blockade. It was approaching into the Bahamas and said that by the time we get back close to home, the hurricane will be back close to home and we're not going to sail through those waters. So I communicated with you all and said, well, the return will be delayed by at least a couple of days, but we thought then we would be back on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Well, after the Wednesday came and went, and after the weekend came and went, and Dorian moved about 1 mile an hour, and bless the people of the Bahamas. It just churned and sat there as a Cat 5 storm over and over and over and over and over. Then that eliminated Wednesday as a possibility, and we finally got back yesterday. We after we were on the cruise ship for part of 12 days, 11 nights. And what's weird is I like what you all have done with the building while we've been gone. The building now sways like a cruise ship. I mean, like anytime I get still, I'm sitting here going, whoa. So if I'm rocking back and forth on camera, you'll know why. But anyway, that's sort of the story in a nutshell. That explains the delayed return. But I was pretty happy to see terra firma yesterday.
I have some questions, burning questions.
All right, we'll get to those in just 1 second. Do we have the shot of Miami? If you're watching online, I'd like you to see Miami. I took this photograph on Wednesday afternoon. Off in the distance there is Benvenuto a Miami. That was the first sight of land other than Cuba that we had seen since Sunday evening when we departed Cozumel for the third time.
Yeah. At what part did she start calling you Thurston?
Well, I think when I sent you all a message the other day, I said, yours truly, Skipper and Gilligan.
Right.
I let you all decide who was who. But then later I realized that probably more accurate, one of us looks like Thurston and one of us looks like Ginger. I'll let you decide which is which. But I will say, in all seriousness, before I field your questions, maybe that was your only question. I don't know.
No.
Was thank you to Captain Johnny, seriously, and the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. They handled it perfectly. They communicated well. The uncertainty was the hardest part. Okay, well, what day is it really going to be, and when will the storm clear, and rearranging with home and kid schedules and all those things. But I will say we were very grateful to not be the people of the Bahamas.
Absolutely.
And so, but it's my dad asked me, he said, did you realize you were moving to the Caribbean? I said, throughout my life, I've often threatened that I wanted to live in the Caribbean someday. I just didn't realize my fortitude would be tested so early. I thought it would be more of a retirement thing. More than
by fire, more really.
Yeah, now I got a chance to really feel what that might be like, so I can decide. All right, so questions.
Okay, so a cruise ship is stocked for 7 days.
Yes.
On what day did they ration water and crackers?
My Uncle Hub was really concerned that we were going to be on sea rations.
Right.
There were no sea rations.
Really?
Bulk ketchup got to be scarce after about day 10. We got to remember there are a lot of kids on this cruise, too.
Well, I'm just thinking, at what point were you all like apocalyptic? Like you're out in the hallways, like trading bulk ketchup for Cuban sandwiches or bologna, right? Like
when real beef burgers disappeared and it was only turkey burgers, we knew that would be a sign of the apocalypse of things to come. But serious business. On Sunday, our last day in port before crossing back, we basically did laps for 2 days off the southwest tip of Cuba, just killing time, just waiting, and it was fun. But there was a sister ship across the pier, and we borrowed a bunch of food and supplies from them.
Oh, when you say borrow, was it more like pirating?
No, it's the same cruise line. It was Captain Johnny had a bigger boat than Captain Frank or whoever was on the other boat.
I really wish you'd just run over there and
right?
just start taking it all.
Like,
Put on a
yes.
hat.
Yeah, and so it was
with a sword.
You've always wanted to be a pirate.
One was a pirate, one was a raider. I don't know who was who, but I guess we were the raiders actually in this particular case. But we got another raider story coming up later on the show. If we can move on from this, do we have the letter to Captain Johnny?
We do.
So Captain Johnny shared this on Twitter. It was a letter from a young man named Mitchell, who was also on board the Harmony of the Seas, who said, "Dear Captain Johnny, thank you for keeping our family safe." And goes on to say, "I'll be missing my first week of school." Oh. And so he wrote a letter to the captain and said, and that was the most important part of the thing, was everyone was safe.
But I like that he finished up, "This is the best vacation."
Yes, best vacation ever. It was bonus
Right?
time.
I'm missing my first week of school.
Well,
best vacation
It was
ever.
a little, there are worse places to be.
Well, I had
but
said-
there are things we need to do. I mean, we need to be places.
I couldn't luck into getting stuck on a cruise ship an extra week for free, right? Like, what?
Yeah.
My luck would be they would like shorten my vacation and say, "Oh, hurricane, got to go home 3 days early."
Sorry.
That would be
You're only getting 2 days of this vacation.
right, but
Well,
we're going to keep your money for all 7.
Well, there were those people. I immediately said, well, thank you, God, that we're not in the group of people who were expecting to be this week.
Right.
That completely
that's
had
true.
their, because the cruise ship was headed back out yesterday, but it was, it's hindsight's 2020. They probably closed the port a day earlier than they had to. They didn't know that it was going to sit there and just stall out and move so slow, but literally we followed the storm up the East Coast yesterday, Wednesday and yesterday. As it moved, we were just following behind, and 6 cruise ships rolled into Port Canaveral yesterday morning of people that were just there waiting. And Cozumel, the Western Caribbean, was very busy and all that stuff. So it's
a lot of logistics to work out.
Yeah, we kind of laughed with the people on board. I said, I know that they're worried about my life, and they're worried about Beej's life, and they're worried about the life of the crew, like all the people. But they also are worried about this $1 billion boat. They're not gonna go sailing it into harm's way.
But so did they just continue the same entertainment at night, or did everything shut down? It's like, okay, you've seen the pony show. Now we're in survival mode.
They have these things around the ship that talk about the drink of the day.
Yeah.
Like one day it might be a Mai Tai. One day it might be, I didn't have any of the drinks of the day. But I was seeing, but their slogan said, "'Cause no 2 days are ever the same." I said, no, that's
not true.
That's not true. Because this Tuesday is a whole lot like the last Tuesday.
This week is rinse and repeat.
Yeah. The only difference was from Monday to Monday, there was a Labor Day celebration for one of them and not for the other. Right. There was a Veterans celebration on Tuesday that they didn't have on the first Tuesday, but it was one of those things. But again,
I feel like I've done this already.
Thank you to everybody for your patience and your
home.
Appreciation. And
Sam's super glad you're home.
She'll be back Monday, and she can offer her. I did observe her dancing with another male while we were on vacation, and I'll let her attest for that.
Well, I said, here's the thing. Poor Christy. She has a hard time leaving the babies behind when she travels. Mm-hmm. She likes for her babies to be with her. And we've said on air she's a weather ninny. So
she can be.
She can be.
Yeah.
But I have to say, 40's been rough already. Like, bless her heart, turning 40. She's not seen her babies in 2 weeks. She's in the storm of, a hurricane, stuck on a cruise ship. and turned 40 all at the same time.
I think I'll let her. I think what she's going to bring to you on Monday is the actual 40th birthday was probably one for the ages, and then it's been downhill
That's what
since
I'm
then.
saying, right? Like, I'm going back to the 30s.
Yeah, or if she could just go back to her 40th birthday and hang
just
out
stay
right there,
there.
she'd probably be okay. Dorian grazed the Carolina coast and then made landfall at Cape Hatteras this morning. Of course, you've got people who are dealing with all kinds of devastation that they'll be recovering from over the next couple of days. Well, not a couple of days, over the next months and years. I read it's been 2 years now since Maria and Irma came through Puerto Rico and those areas, so it takes years to recuperate. And it's odd, we talked about the Bahamas. There are portions of the Bahamas that were absolutely devastated, and then there were portions of the Bahamas that were not necessarily unscathed, but a lot of those cruise ships were going out yesterday to drop off emergency supplies to the people of the Bahamas. We've got a group of nurses from Kentucky are heading to North Carolina to help victims of Dorian. I know the Warren RECC crews were also staging to go into the Carolinas and help rebuild the power grid when the time is ready. Also showed you Mitchell's photo a few minutes ago that he wrote to Captain Johnny. I'm going to miss my first week of school. That's a story that he'll always remember. And there are a lot of hurricane names that come and go, and I forget, and I go, I don't remember that storm's name and this, but I have a feeling I won't forget Dorian.
Yeah, no.
Because now I have like a personal connection to the story in certain ways. But there's a story of a man in Florida who walked to Costco and walked out with 100 generators, which he was loading up and sending to the Bahamas.
Wow.
His receipt was $49,285.70. $450 a pop for generators, and then he bought peas, beans, coffee, salt, pepper, etc., and said, I'm loading these things up and I'm taking them
It's awesome.
to the Bahamas to help. And then this story touched my heart. A 6-year-old boy used his money he saved for a Disney trip to help Hurricane Dorian evacuees. His name is Jermaine Bell. And he'd been saving up his money in order to spend his birthday at Disney World later this week. Instead, he's now using the money to help evacuees in South Carolina.
Precious.
See, that's how people just kind of go above and beyond. So good young man there. A Litchfield man has been arrested after shooting through the floor of a camper during an argument with his brother. Wednesday afternoon about 5:30, the Grayson County Sheriff's Office personnel responded to shots fired on Clayton Road. They found 36-year-old Andrew Evans had been in an argument with his brother. During the argument, police said Evans followed his brother into a camper behind a residence and fired a handgun 3 times into the floor with his brother and father standing nearby. He was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree wanton endangerment, terroristic threatening, and menacing. One of the other things that was a real hardship, truly a hardship for folks, people that went on a 7-night cruise that took 7 nights worth of medicine, vital medicine that they must have, or other supplies, medical supplies they had to have. That was also another logistical thing to consider.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
The city of Litchfield is now implementing a cell phone policy, and a social media policy will be coming soon. You can look online at K105.com and read all the details. The city's employees and PDAs are for the intended business purposes, and personal use shall be incidental, and now they will start figuring out what's a taxable benefit, what's not. I think it's all just trying to get a handle on usage and what is excessive and making sure people are behaving. And if you don't have a policy, just good to have one. And so not sure entirely of the precursors that led to this. Again, not sure entirely, but you can read about it at K105.com. Kentucky will receive a big infusion of federal funds to reinforce efforts to combat the state's addiction woes from the opioid epidemic. The assistance from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services comes a few weeks after Kentucky officials reported the first statewide drop in drug overdose deaths since 2013. We have a group of Kentucky hospitals who themselves are suing opioid makers. We've had attorneys general, and we've had governments that have been suing opioid manufacturers, and now you have a list of healthcare providers specifically that will be doing so. The UK Med School is expanding to northern Kentucky. They've got a new campus at Highland Heights that they are unveiling, did a ribbon cutting on yesterday. And if I've heard this story once, I've heard it 1,000 times. An argument between West Virginia pastors' wives ends with gunfire in the church parking lot. 44-year-old Melinda Fry Tony is accused of pulling out a pistol that accidentally discharged during an argument with another pastor's wife at New Life Apostolic Church in Oak Hill on May 11th. May 11th? They must have just had the trial now and figured it all out. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, you hear this twice a week. Pastors' wives.
Pastors' wives fought a duel with a deadly weapon.
I like that.
Welcome to West Virginia.
So what was the gun doing
Wild
out?
and wonderful.
If it was...
West Virginia.
Her maiden name's probably White.
It is White, yeah.
We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got the Cougar Sports Report for the week coming up. Your chance to win later on in the show. I think we got Holiday World tickets up for grabs today. We got that and a whole lot more coming up here on In the Know.
Did you know that experts estimate that 80 to 90% of disease is stress-related? Massage can help by lowering your blood pressure, increasing circulation, reducing fatigue, and increasing energy. Call Renee Smith at 270-505-5463 to set up your appointment for a therapeutic massage today. Renee also offers gift certificates and is conveniently located on Elizabethtown Road in Litchfield. 270-505-5463.
At Litchfield Pediatrics, we don't just love our community, we love yours too. Serving surrounding counties from Warren to Hardin, our growing network of physicians and professionally trained staff provide the best in pediatric care. Now offering new online appointment requests, available 24/7 and can be accessed by visiting our Facebook page. Give us a call at 270-259-5641 or stop by our new facility located at 901 Wallace Avenue. Litchfield Pediatrics, providing the best in pediatric care.
Living on the lake is a luxury. Lake homeowners have been supplementing their properties with the best quality rock, stone, and asphalt products from Scotty's Contracting and Stone for years. Scotty's Quarry has been serving our lake customers with cleaner, underground mined, pure limestone for driveways, landscaping, and construction projects. Our crushed stone products can also be used to assist in erosion control near waterways. If you live on the lake, contact Scotty's Contracting and Stone for an estimate on high-quality products and service at 270-259-5696.
The world's biggest country music and bourbon festival, Hometown Rising, September 14th and 15th, Highland Festival Grounds, Kentucky Expo Center, over 30 stars, Luke Bryan,
Be proud of what makes your country.
Tim McGraw,
I like it, I love it, I want some more.
Keith Urban, Little Big Town, Brett Young, Dwight Yoakam, Jake Owen, Trace Adkins, Brett Michaels, and more. For all the details, go to hometownrising.com.
The Grayson County Cougars are 2-0 as we enter the third week of the 2019 season. This week, the Wildcats of Edmonson County make the trip to Litchfield for the battle for the tobacco stick. Last season, the Cougars reclaimed the coveted stick in a decisive 42-12 victory over the Wildcats. I'm Sam Gormley. Join me Friday night for all of the action live from Cougar Stadium. Coverage begins with the Locker Room Show at 6:30. Watch online at K105.com, on Facebook Watch, and listen here on K105.
To coincide with the start of the NFL season, Verizon is rolling out 5G connectivity in 13 NFL stadiums around the country. At some of the venues, including the Jets MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, the stadium is the only local place a consumer with a 5G phone can experience the next-gen network. Verizon has launched 5G in parts of 10 cities so far, with the goal of reaching 30 markets by the end of the year. The Alliance of Automobile Manufacturers is committing to making rear seat reminder systems standard equipment on almost all passenger vehicles sold in the country by 2025. The announcement follows a particularly deadly stretch this summer, with 10 children dying in heated cars in just 20 days. Google is adding personalized show recommendations to search. So now when you type in good movies to watch, Google will offer up curated suggestions based on what you search and take into account which streaming services you subscribe to. Tech Report, Larry Olson.
Now look at you walking in here looking all pretty and angry and mean and good. I know you didn't get your hair done so you can just sit down and just sit still.
Hey, we trying to have a good time tonight. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. It's my birthday. No, it's not. But I still look good, though. How come? Ow. I bet you want an autograph.
Today is Coffee Ice Cream Day. If I just had some ice cream, I could make it happen. I'm already lousy with coffee. It's Read a Book Day today. Yep.
Wait a minute.
By the way, I did get 2 books within the pre-published length of the cruise. So then I thought, oh yeah, they're good. I read the last 2 John Grisham books. Rooster Bar is pretty good. The Reckoning's really good. If you've ever read Unbroken, you'll also love The Reckoning because it has a World War II touch on it. Then I was like, well, I didn't realize I needed 3 books. I was not told this would be a 3-book trip. I thought 2, okay, 2 would be okay. It is also Barbie Doll Day today. So I think 1959 maybe when the Barbie doll came out. And so we are celebrating. So today is the day.
It is the day.
The battle for the tobacco stick returns. We'll get to that in just a moment, but it's been a busy weekend in Cougar sports. I take that back. Let's just dive right in. Sam,
let's do it.
Glad you're here. You just come in for this appearance for the Cougar Sports Report, but since you've been more me than I've been, I don't know how to explain it. You've been over here for the last couple of weeks, so I know this just feels like easy duty for you sitting over there. Now you only have to talk about sports, but
it's a good time.
It's like you're off work.
Yeah, well, I was going to say it has to be better than
it's like I quit my job or something.
It'd be less pressure, I would think.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would hope. But the Edmonson County Wildcats will, come to town?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
And these 2 teams, I don't think that Edmonson County wants to beat anyone more than they want to beat Grayson County in anything, and vice versa. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say, you look at last year's, they had the district championship game for basketball was quite possibly the greatest comeback in this area in a long time. Down 18 points with 8 minutes to go, and I think that just shows, would that comeback have happened against a Butler County or a Whitesville Trinity? Possibly, but I think it's more so just you're having that extra thing, and I think in a rivalry game, sometimes the better team doesn't always win. You can easily just throw everything out because both teams want to win by such a large margin.
Before we get specifics about tonight, I don't guess I knew what to expect last week with Nelson County. When I was running the circuit, when I was running the high school football circuit, 15, 20 years ago, we made several trips in the Danny Clark era to Nelson County, and Nelson County coming here, and it was just always one of those, oh gosh, Nelson County again. They were operating on a level with North Hardin and the Oldham counties and that. So to see a score, I thought, to see a 49-0 score for the Cougars over the Cardinal of Nelson County, it stood out to me. What did you make of the game last Friday?
Nelson County was just not a very good football team. If they have lost 31 of 32 games now. They've opened up the new school.
So this is Thomas Nelson. This is a Thomas Nelson related.
Thomas Nelson has not had much success either. So I'm not sure if the split has given, a team that might win 5 games has given, 2 this way and 3 the other way. Mm-hmm. But then you also have Bardstown, you have Bethlehem there as well. It's kind of, I think that there's just not enough kids in a small area, and I think most of the big talent for football goes to Bardstown.
Same thing happened in Muhlenberg County back a few years ago, even when they just went north and south, and you saw they got back together. Back during the Muhlenberg North and Muhlenberg South days, Muhlenberg South actually eliminated football, went non-competitive for a few years because they couldn't field a quality enough team to get kids to come out. And I have always feared that. You've heard people talk over the years, well, Grayson County High School is too big. It needs to be split into 2. I don't agree with that.
No.
Because when you split something in 2, you automatically cause competition or the haves and the have-nots, or it's perceived, and so maybe we're seeing that kind of in Nelson County right now. But the Cougars get an impressive win, 49-0 to move to 2-0. But what did Edmonson County do last week?
They beat Butler County 54-12. They're now 1-1. They lost to Portland, Tennessee in their first game, so they played at Warren East, and there was 4 teams to play there. Warren East played Russellville, I think, and then they're flipping it up next year. So it's kind of a couple-of-year tournament down there. But Butler County, I think, is a similar opponent to a Nelson County, so it's kind of hard to read into to see really how even these 2 teams might be this year.
Right.
But still, Edmonson County's 1-1.
So if you just go by the scores, though, right, if you got a 49-0 victory over Nelson County, Edmonson County has you said it was 54-12
yes.
victory over Butler County. You think, whoa, then 2 teams that can score a lot of points.
But then again, Edmonson County scored 6 points in their first game against
Right.
Portland, Tennessee. So
We'll see.
You look into that and you read into it how you want to.
So after a couple of games, Coach Smart's team starting to take a little bit of shape as far as knowing who's who and who brings what to the table. Talk about Logan Kopp.
So Logan Kopp's your starting quarterback, and he's a little bit different than Noah Bullock because Noah, I think, the farther along he got, I mean, Noah was a lot more experienced as a starting quarterback. He had started multiple years before that until his senior year, so he really understood the offense and everything about it. Not that Logan doesn't, but you're starting to see him learn more and more and get more and more comfortable. He doesn't throw quite as much as Noah, but he's still starting to run. But the best part about him so far is that he's really learning to facilitate this triple option offense, which is the most important thing. In this, sometimes you don't need a quarterback to do a lot. You just need him to be a facilitator and give the ball at the right time to the right person.
300 all-purpose yards after 2 weeks in high school football would jump off the page at about anyone, and the Cougars have someone who's done it.
Hunter Gibson. So he's had 2 big rushing games. And then last week he had a passing touchdown as well for 35 yards to Hunter Toms. So the Hunters paired up for that. It was on a trick play. So you can see him, and even Coach Smart said he's not wanting to see him throw a lot, but it just shows that he has the ability, that they have that play if they ever want to go to it, because he has that ability to pass. And, I mean, when you go up against maybe an Owensboro or some of these other power teams in the area, a play like that could be the difference of getting this game closer or maybe putting yourself over the top in some instances.
Hey, stretching the field is always good if you can keep defenses a little more honest. What do we know about Edmonson County at this point?
John Smith is the starting quarterback. He's passed for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns. He rushed for 53 yards last week.
I wonder if his friends call him Captain. Captain John Smith.
I think actually I think that is a
Is that true?
the Grayson County students call him Captain John.
Okay.
So no, I'm not sure. I think he's almost adopted that.
Yeah.
But
might as well own
yeah,
it.
Why not?
Sure.
Last year against the Cougars, though, he threw 4 interceptions, 2 were returned for touchdowns. So the Cougars secondary had their way with him last year, but the Cougars secondary is going to have some challenges here because this is the first offense they've gone up against that has passed at all. Really, they've given up 27 passing yards in the first 2 weeks of the year. So that's something that's going to be kind of interesting to see. And Coach Smart did express that he was worried about that.
Talked about the Cougar triple option. What type of offensive look does Edmonson County have?
It's not necessarily your triple option. I guess more of a pro style kind of a way, because I mean you're going to see a lot more passing.
Okay.
I say that, and it's not like it's a ton. I mean, on the year they've 11 of 23 in 2 games. So, but in some instances, averaging 11 passes a game is a lot in this area because you get a lot of teams that just run.
In the last quarter century, Edmonson County has the edge. 15-11 or so in the last 26 years.
And I actually want to give a thank you to Kyle Pierce down at Edmonson County. He posted the official total, which since the series began, Edmonson leads 24-19, but the Cougars won last year 42-12.
Since the series began in 1849?
Yes.
Take a little trip.
when that happened. Been a busy week. Otherwise, I noticed you had a volleyball game earlier this week, but before that game with Breck County, the Lady Cougar volleyball team defeated Cloverport
2-0.
Then Breck County, not so much.
Breck County's a good team.
Are they?
It's a really good team. So
Yeah.
they're undefeated still. So.
And then had a sweep of Butler County?
Yeah, so they're now 3-0 in the 12th district. So a great way to start. They've beaten all 3 of the teams, so can't start much better than that.
What's their next week look like?
Next week, they, on Tuesday, will play at Muhlenberg County.
Lady Cougar Soccer 1-1 this week. They beat Breck County 3-1, lost to Taylor County 4-1. What's their week look like?
So next Thursday, they don't have a game until next Thursday. It's at home against Breck County. That will be a digital productions game, so you'll be able to watch on K105's Facebook, K105's YouTube, K105.com, and all of that. And then next weekend, they are actually going to the Smoky Mountains. So
Really?
and actually, that Breckenridge County is their final home game of the year.
Lay off the taffy. Okay, you don't want to have too much taffy pre-game. Save the taffy for post-game.
Maybe during the halftime?
No.
No.
Gotta wait till after.
No.
You don't want to get taffy belly.
Taffy will weigh you down.
Taffy belly you'll have a hard time.
And you have it
with
for
that.
days.
That's right. Boys soccer lost to Western Hills 3-1 last weekend. Defeated Muhlenberg County 2-0 and tied Hart County yesterday 3-3. What, Bullitt Central tomorrow?
Yeah, so kind of an interesting opponent. They're not one that Grayson County matches up with that often, but that'll be at 10 a.m. tomorrow at home.
Yeah, it's also a brunch time start.
Yeah.
10 a.m. tomorrow. Cougar Golf, the girls defeated Brecken, Ohio County this week. The boys took down Meade. Any update on my fishing jersey?
No.
I
think that
He's been a bit busy being you. That he forgot about you.
The bass
you might have needed
team,
it while you were on the boat, I guess.
Probably. They'll be fishing tomorrow at a home, right? We call that home.
Call it home, sure.
I mean, if it's on Nolan, it's home.
It's home.
Yeah.
Cross country will be in the Owensboro Invitational tomorrow. Girls run at 10, boys follow at 10:45. Tomorrow, Eastern Michigan. What did you make of the Cats last Saturday with Toledo?
They had some moments that looked really good, some moments that you saw the first game, but looking at the rest of the SEC, I feel pretty good. Seeing Tennessee losing to Georgia State.
Georgia State. Thank you, Georgia State.
Yeah, so I think we just had to throw that in there. Vandy lost to Georgia. Missouri lost to Wyoming.
It's a tough week for the SEC to
It
start. Serena Williams gets back to the U.S. Open finals again. I was very limited on what I could watch the last couple of weeks, so the U.S. Open and the Vuelta de España have been two of the things that I've been paying attention to. And Antonio Brown, clever like a fox, suggests that his helmet stunt was intentional just to sign a deal with his new helmet manufacturer. But also, it sounds like he's about to get suspended by the Oakland Raiders.
Probably a good idea not to get me started on him.
What?
Cougar Band is at Franklin Simpson tomorrow.
I was going to say, I had that, looked that up earlier. The Cougar Band has rehearsal in the morning and then on to Franklin Simpson tomorrow afternoon. And what else?
Cougars in the classroom. We go to the Technology Center.
Okay,
That
good. Western has what, FIU?
Yes, on the road. We don't want to talk about them.
That was a heartbreaker last week, right? On the Arkansas, I thought.
Seems like
Central Arkansas.
Nope, not talking about it.
All right, so
Louisville lost to Notre Dame.
Louisville looked pretty good. I was surprised that poor cheerleader, she got hit in the nose.
That was awful.
With football. That was terrible to see.
She's a dance team member.
Excuse me, whatever. Dirty bird, lady bird. I don't know. She that's called a lady bird, right?
Yes, it is.
You shouldn't be called a lady bird because it's too easy for me to say dirty bird. I just shouldn't do it. And then, so 6:30 tonight, the Locker Room Show.
Yes.
Live from Cougar Stadium, right?
Yes.
As the Wildcats come to town. The tobacco stick, what? It has orange paint on it.
It's not
At
planning on
midnight
coming
tonight,
off.
Right? Oh, I know. I was going to say, it still has orange paint on it at midnight tonight.
Absolutely.
Right? Got it.
Maybe a fresh coat.
Thanks, Sam. The Holiday World ticket giveaway with the water cooler question is coming up. Your chance to win straight ahead here on In the Know.
Consumers in Litchfield and surrounding areas are getting smart about the vehicle they're driving by getting customized auto financing, personalized dealer service, and multi-point inspected pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. What are you looking for in your next vehicle? A vehicle to haul the family around? A sporty car? A heavy-duty truck? Maybe you want to stay within a certain price range and want a financing plan with low monthly payments. At AutoSmart, new inventory is being delivered every week. You'll only find high-quality vehicles that have undergone multi-point inspections on our lot. The knowledgeable AutoSmart team knows all about the vehicles in inventory. They can answer all your questions. Now, all they need to know is what you're looking for. With financing partnerships with every financial institution in the area, they can provide you with a custom financing plan to fit your credit situation and your needs. Get to AutoSmart and get happy with a quality pre-owned vehicle and a customized financing plan. South Main Street in Litchfield or at autosmart1.com.
Whoa, slow down, Mama. You almost missed this message. You have a million reasons to stop smoking, and your baby is the most important one. At 1-800-QUIT-NOW, get the one-on-one help you need to stop smoking. No judgment, no meetings, just a sympathetic ear, and free gift cards for your progress. If you're pregnant or have children, stopping is the best thing you can do for their health and yours. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW or visit quitnowkentucky.org.
Almost 4 in 10 high school seniors in Kentucky don't fill out the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA. We asked students why that is.
I honestly have no idea what the FAFSA is.
At my high school, they don't really talk about the financial aid or FAFSA for that matter.
Filling out the FAFSA is the first step to getting your share of $150 billion in financial aid. And it just got easier. Visit knowhowtogoky.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by the Pritchard Committee Student Voice Team and the Council on Post-Secondary Education.
For generations, alligators have weathered nature, biological threats, and predators. How do they do this? The answer is in their uncanny DNA. Alligators have one of the strongest immune systems in the animal kingdom. Their fat cells contain the essential oils needed to fight off deadly infection and rejuvenate skin. How can you benefit from the alligator's amazing rejuvenating powers? Cayman oil. Cayman oil is the revitalizing and healing power of the alligator in a bottle. Cayman oil is carefully purified and refined with an added hint of vitamin E and lavender to better harness the alligator's ability to heal worn and damaged skin. Treat dry skin, infections, cuts, burns, scarring, eczema, rashes, muscle and joint pain, and more. Even athlete's foot. It's clinically proven to kill the flesh-eating bacteria MRSA. This really works. We guarantee it or your money back. Go to mycayman.com. mycaimon.com. That's mycayman.com.
At the Vape Shop, all their juices are premium gold and made in the USA. And speaking of the USA, the Vape Shop offers a 10% military discount on juices. 2 new stores in the area ready to serve you Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. You'll find the Vape Shop in Hardinsburg on Ballpark Road next to Tracy's Beauty Shop, and in Litchfield on North Main Street next to Rough River Pizza. The Vape Shop is the most convenient, most affordable, and has the best variety. MasterCard and Visa are accepted, so shop now at the Vape Shop.
This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather.
A cold front, another one, is approaching the area from the west today. It's not going to arrive until, say, between the 6 to 8 o'clock time period this evening. As it approaches, clouds will increase. It's a little more humid. Isolated thunderstorm is possible along the front as it moves in. Most of us, though, will likely miss out on that chance. A high this afternoon, 88, and then cooler weather for the weekend. The Wade 3 News Storm Tracking Team. I'm meteorologist Brian Good.
Spend a night in L.A., just another chance to see you. Just you and I.
Did you know a chef's hat has exactly 100 pleats? Trust me, I've had plenty of chances to count.
I read that yesterday and thought that was interesting.
Exactly
really
100. What about a sous chef? You get 50 pleats?
50, yeah. Takes 2 sous chefs to make a real chef. That's right.
That's the recipe we follow at my house.
Listen, here's another one of the pitfalls of being on a cruise ship for almost 2 weeks. The clothes you could wear when you got on the ship, you can no longer wear when you get off the ship. I mean, it's one of those, do we have to eat again?
Right. No more food.
Never ends. Like on and on and on. Here's today's water cooler question. Your chance to win tickets to Holiday World and Splash and Safari if you can solve the water cooler question by calling 270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. If you've not won in the last 30 days and you're 18 years of age or older, 42% of people say they might not date someone if they knew this about them ahead of time. 42% of people say they might not date someone if they knew this about them ahead of time. What is it? I think Misty Thomas is going to get this.
It's my standard answer.
259-6000. 270-259-6000.
It's such a good answer. Everybody should apply this rule.
42% of people say they might not date someone if they knew this about them ahead of time. What is it?
I do, Elizabeth, have so many questions.
I just found out that we have. I found out that I can still do my comments. I like that. See, look, see, we still got our comments.
Because I want to be a cruise ship director, but I have lots of questions about what's it like when you get stuck out
there.
there.
So, by the way, Dennis was the cruise ship director, and I can tell Dennis has formerly worked in our industry.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, Dennis was the cruise director on a former cruise that we went on.
Okay.
On the Allure a few years ago. Because when I got on board and I saw this guy, I was like, I know this guy. Dennis.
Was he this?
He wasn't quite this. He's all right. But I could just tell. It's like, you've worked in our industry before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the nuances.
Well, because they have that daily show. They have their own morning show they do on there. Like,
I know that
I
shtick.
got your shtick. Dance monkey. Like, finally, the roles are reversed. Dance monkey. 42% of people say they might not date someone if they knew this about them ahead of time. What is it? 270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. Misty just wrote one answer down, and she just dropped the pen. Like, I know what this is.
If you listen to the show and have listened to me very long, you know that this and your relationship with soap and water are the two main things I need to know about you.
Top of the pyramid.
Yes.
They're both co-perched across the top.
Do you like a shower at night or do you shower in the morning? What is your relationship with soap and water?
I don't. Anybody got any idea?
I don't know.
Got it right.
It seems like
I'm just going to say that when you all do hear the answer, I need you to put this in your pocket. And when you get on those, is it Tinder app that you swipe left or right?
I got phone problems.
You need to add this. Like, I think instead of...
Well, he's got a story of a new dating app.
So listen, here's the thing. If my husband ever decides to divorce me and I end up on one of those apps, I'm not even going to put my picture. I'm just going to put this.
Let's see. Hi, who's this?
This is Jessica.
Hi,
Do I get to
Jessica.
answer the question?
Hey, Jessica, hang on a second, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, there's some type of screening problem with the phone. So, anyway, I'll just grab this line. Jessica, have you won in the last 30 days?
I have not.
Jessica, are you 18 years of age or older?
I am.
Really? Like way above 18 years of age? Or?
Like I'm totally legal. Do you need a date?
No.
Are you double legal?
Perfectly.
Are you
Sam does. Sam needs a date. I don't need a date. But
Pam?
thank you.
Pam?
Sam.
Oh, Sam. I was like, I don't
Sam,
I don't like
am.
Pams.
Green eggs and ham.
I don't like Pams.
Oh,
and I
no.
don't like green eggs and ham.
Okay.
And I don't like man named Sam.
Okay. Well, Jessica.
Jessica, we've learned a lot about you in
thank you
42
for that.
seconds.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that quick primer on knowing all things important about you, Jessica. 42% of people say they might not date someone if they knew this about them ahead of time, and the answer is not. Their name is Sam.
Or Pam.
It's their credit score.
Their credit score is correctamundo.
Perfect answer.
The credit score may be a deal breaker.
It should be a deal breaker. Don't you agree, Jessica?
Hold on, Jessica, okay? Jessica, I'm going to put you on hold. You may have to call back, okay? But there's something wonky with the phones. Hold on.
I'm just going to say that my credit score is much more attractive than my portrait. So if I ever end up on a dating, if you ever just see my digits, it's not my phone number. That's my credit score. Date me, I've got a great credit score.
All right, congratulations, Jessica. She gets the tickets to Holiday World, Splash and Safari. There's other stuff coming up. I don't know what we'll talk about. I'm still got a certain level of PTSD going on today.
You're still swaying back and
We'll
forth.
get through it. Yeah, I need some swaying music. I'm going to play the Hughes Corporation. Rock the boat, baby. Don't rock the boat. I got to get to a break. Back with more here on In the Know.
If you're not a football fan, you probably don't know about the Griffin brothers, Shaquille and Shaquem. Like a lot of twins, they're inseparable. When they were 8 years old, they made a pact. They promised each other they'd one day marry twins and raise their children together. They also committed to play pro football on the same team. That's a lofty goal for anyone, but the Griffin brothers faced a unique hurdle. Shaquem only has one hand, and that could have held him back. But Shaquem has grit, a good attitude, and a twin brother who never forgot their pact. After high school, Shaquille was offered multiple college scholarships, one of them from the team he dreamed of playing for, the Miami Hurricanes. Instead, he chose the University of Central Florida because they agreed to give his brother a scholarship too. A few years later, Shaquille was drafted into the NFL by the Seattle Seahawks, but no one invited Shaquem to try out. Shaquille asked his team to give his brother a try, and like always, when Shaquem got a chance, he took advantage of it. He made headlines for his bench press while wearing a prosthetic and running the fastest ever 40-yard dash for a linebacker. The Seahawks drafted him. Shaquille and Shaquem Griffin are a beautiful example of the power of family. They challenge each other. They help each other. And through it all, they're committed to each other. To help your family thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
Louisville, Kentucky, Louder Than Life returns September 27th through the 29th. Highland Festival grounds at the Kentucky Expo Center with Guns N' Roses, Slipknot, Disturbed, Rob Zombie, Godsmack, Marilyn Manson, plus Stained and Ice Cube. Go to louderthanlifefestival.com for all ticket and lineup information. Louder Than Life.
If you're a student entering a community college or university, check this out. You can save money in college tuition by finishing your degree on time. Just earn 15 credit hours each semester or 30 a year. Do the math. The longer you stay, the more you pay for a college degree. Talk to your advisor and make a plan. Take 15 to finish on time. Get in, get out, get going. Visit knowhowtogoky.org.
This message is sponsored by knowhowtogoky.org.
For generations, alligators have weathered nature, biological threats, and predators. How do they do this? The answer is in their uncanny DNA. Alligators have one of the strongest immune systems in the animal kingdom. Their fat cells contain the essential oils needed to fight off deadly infection and rejuvenate skin. How can you benefit from the alligator's amazing rejuvenating powers? Cayman oil. Cayman oil is the revitalizing and healing power of the alligator in a bottle. Cayman oil is carefully purified and refined with an added hint of vitamin E and lavender to better harness the alligator's ability to heal worn and damaged skin. Treat dry skin, infections, cuts, burns, scarring, eczema, rashes, muscle and joint pain, and more. Even athlete's foot. It's clinically proven to kill the flesh-eating bacteria MRSA. This really works. We guarantee it or your money back. Go to mycayman.com. mycaimon.com. That's mycayman.com.
At Dan Powers GM Center in Litchfield, you'll find the area's largest selection of late model vehicles with hundreds of vehicles to choose from. And with a $500 trade assist on every qualified purchase, a broad network of lenders, low interest rates, Dan Powers GM Center in Litchfield is the best choice for your next vehicle purchase. And if you don't see what you're looking for, they will find it. Plus, the friendly professional service staff is always there to meet your needs. Dan Powers GM Center, 1517 Elizabethtown Road in Litchfield.
MB's point to ponder for today. Show isn't long enough to ponder all the things I've pondered in the last couple of weeks. One of the communiques that I sent out to you all when I was sending telegraphs, I think earlier this week, one of the things I told you that I wanted to do is I was hoping that we would get to stop off in Havana.
Yeah.
My parents went there a few months ago.
They did?
Yeah.
Well, I realized what the problem was. Havana cannot host the largest cruise ship in the world. All their ports were built in 1957. They have done no port updates since
They got Gilligan off the island. And that's
right.
it.
That's about it.
And then they stopped.
Exactly what my parents said. They said it's so old.
Yeah.
It's so old.
It feels it felt very menacing. Just to, like, it looked like a shark. You're just going up and down the coast of Havana. Like, It was so weird for basically being at sea for 3 days. Every time I looked, we were headed toward the sun. I was like, wait a minute. we have to keep
right.
And it's like,
we're going to fall off the face of the
earth. It went
earth.
over the other way. And I've seen Pirates of the Caribbean. I know.
The Earth's flat again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
There's the movement that the Earth is flat again. So you could have fallen off the face of the Earth.
The old flat earthers.
They're back.
What do you need to know for the weekend? The Packers beat the Bears last night, right?
Yeah, 10-3.
This officially kicks off the NFL season. Steelers at Patriots. Sorry, Sam, I had to say Steelers out loud.
Go Patriots.
Steelers at Patriots on Sunday night. Couples Therapy, the season premiere on Showtime tonight. Identity theft of a cheerleader on Lifetime tomorrow. Hey, sounds great.
It's like picking between your 2 least favorite foods.
Sounds riveting.
Can they
It's kind of like the last election, right?
Hmm.
election.
That would be lima beans or Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, so
You take that back. I love both of those.
I hate lima beans.
You're not cooking them right.
Brussels sprouts, I could, if it was the last vegetable
You're
on
not
earth.
cooking either of those correctly.
Today's highlight in history. This day in 2006, President George W. Bush acknowledged for the first time that the CIA was running secret prisons overseas. In 1901, President William McKinley was shot. The Summer Olympics resumed in Munich, West Germany. This date in 1972. Cal Ripken broke Lou Gehrig's record. This date in 1995. Funeral for Princess Diana was held this date in 1997. Hurricane Irma, the most powerful hurricane ever recorded in the Atlantic, pounded Puerto Rico this date in 2017. Listen, that was crazy. This time last week, when we were getting reports that Dorian was in the South Atlantic was the biggest storm in the
Powered by Heritage Media of Kentucky.
measurable history, in the recorded history, when it had sustained winds of over 200 miles an hour. It was unbelievable. And its definition, it just sat there and spun. It looked like a quarter, just perfectly spinning. And Burt Reynolds died a year ago today. David Allan Coe is 80 today. Swoozie Kurtz is 75. Jane Curtin is 72. Jeff Foxworthy is 61. Michael Winslow is 61 from Police Academy movies.
He was my favorite.
Elizabeth Vargas is 57. Mark Chestnut is 56. Well, it sure is Friday, ain't it the truth? Rosie Perez is 55 today. Idris Elba is 47. And Foxy Brown is 41 today. Gone but not forgotten, the Marquis de Lafayette, born in 1757. Mel McDaniel, born this date in 1942. Louisiana Saturday night.
Oh,
you know, you get down the fiddle, you get down the bow.
Yeah.
Take off
Rosin
your
up
shoes
strings.
and you throw them on the floor. I don't know if that's how it goes, but
Dance in
and
the kitchen to the morning
baby's
light.
got her blue jeans on. Lord have mercy,
Oh.
baby.
Lord have mercy.
Well, I mean, that's the way it works. 1967. Diana Ross.
I like that all the hostility goes towards you today and not towards me.
He's already killing it. China Beach.
Totally
China Beach,
redeemed
Sam.
myself.
You need to go back and watch China Beach. Great show.
Can you even binge watch that? Like, can you
I have
even
not
find
seen
China
that.
Beach?
I don't know. But I
Gotta
love
be
Diana
on.
Ross.
It's got to be on Me TV by now. I would suppose. Let's go to 1976. England Dan and John Ford Coley. I'd really love to see you tonight. Great mustaches and hairstyles here.
And I
This
was
is solid.
thinking maybe later on we could get together for a while.
They were also spokespeople for Gleam toothpaste.
Yes. I forgot about Gleam.
It was usually on sale, so we had it.
I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life. But there's a warm wind blowing the stars around, and I'd really love to see you tonight.
He's 2 for 2, Sam.
You gotta miss one.
I'm good.
Man, and he's mine.
The Judds were number one this date in 1985.
Love is alive and at our breakfast table every day of the week.
If you've just gotten all of your hatred out in the past 2 weeks,
She's got nothing left. I can play anything. She's so happy I'm back.
she needs another long weekend to get it all back.
Yeah.
I love the Judds.
Hoping that there's some Katy Perry or something.
You play Katy Perry, I'm walking out. I'm just gonna walk out. Sam passed up UB40 to play, not Katy Perry.
No.
It can't be. That
remember.
can't be the same year.
It's like, no, it wasn't. He skipped forward.
No,
He
because
skipped
we
over
were running out of
UB40s.
time.
Okay. But, yeah.
Dennis Cook and I almost quit.
Don't you know? You don't skip over UB40.
Okay, you complained when I played this song
I'm not a lover of this.
like
Can
a
You
week and
Feel
a
the
half
Love
ago.
Tonight? 1994. Sorry, we're a Lion King household. Got to play it.
This is a great song.
There you are. No, it's not.
I'm
It's
glad-
overplayed. Let me say that.
So I think I told you a while ago that they originally were going to let Timon and Pumbaa sing this song. Like, yeah,
No, I don't think so.
That doesn't really.
Yeah.
That
No.
doesn't really work. Let's go to 2003. Christina Aguilera teamed up with Lil Kim Yep. Can't hold us down. 16 years ago today. Okay, we got the idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think what she's trying to say is...
Yeah. I don't know that anybody was trying to, but okay.
Come on. Bring us some Katy Perry.
You bring Katy Perry.
No
You're out.
Katy Perry. Well, you could have had Taylor Swift. You could have had Flo Rida. You got to have Blake Shelton. But 7 years ago today, Ellie Goulding was #1 with Lights.
It's like elevator music to me.
All right.
Take it or leave it.
Sam, are the Cougars going to win tonight?
Yeah.
What's the final score going to be?
Oh, wow. You're putting me on the spot here.
Just you pull one out of the air. I don't care.
28-20.
All right. Misty, are the Cougars going to win tonight?
Yes, 27-9.
27-9. Okay. My prediction.
I mean, it can happen. We've seen weirder things.
Did she say 27-9?
Yeah.
Yes.
It can happen.
Well. Yeah.
Missed extra point and a field goal.
Well, listen, it's an oddly executed offense. So
or
I mean,
touchdown and a safety.
I also want to bet, though, one time that the first point scored in the Super Bowl would be, was it a field goal?
That's true. Yeah, both of you. No, safety.
Safety,
And
safety.
all won.
Yes.
Broncos.
I'm going to go 762-1.
That's a solid pick.
That's my
Well,
that's my prediction.
I'm retracting
762. Write it down, Sam. 762 for the Cougars, 1 for the Wildcats.
Just
Done.
one.
Just 1.
You know, 1 is the loneliest number.
That's right. Again, thank you all. Thanks to all the co-hosts too, rotating through, and Miss Buckles will get to weigh in and account for her experience on Monday. So
look forward to
we'll
that.
Look forward to that. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today: the lesson of history is rarely learned by the actors themselves. The lesson of history is rarely learned by the actors themselves. MP's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Misty Thomas, for Sam Gormley, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powered by Heritage Media of Kentucky, WKHG Litchfield, Kentucky, USA, 104.9 FM, the Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105, your news star.